We got another new offer for us. The first work of theirs. Ekium. So I assume it's like eek and then eum. So Ekium. Okay, they wrote modular animals. Okay then, let's get this started. Modular animals. Here we go. Already got some red. Almost our fourth Keter, but it's crossed out. Keter. Euclid. Special containment procedures. Short duration 1. The collection of entities labeled SB2447 are to be kept within 3 hermetically sealed containers composed of 3-meter thick osmium walls lined with a copper alloy. These chambers, located within Site 162's heavy containment zone, are to be filled with air vents, which are to fill the containment area with nitrous oxide at intervals of once every 6 hours. This should sedate SB2447 instances to a marginal level. A secondary main chamber is to encompass the 3 containers and is to be constructed of a cement and platinum tiling. If personnel must enter the container, they must wear the protective equipment outlined in document A1 and must receive physical examination following time inside. A decontamination station is to be permanently established adjacent to SB2447's main container. Any change in instance behavior or configuration is to be reported to SB2447's HMCL supervisor and the site director. Available MTF units are to be dispatched to SB2447's location, and personnel are to be put on standby for a site-wide evacuation. A 120 V current is to be run through the copper alloy for a period of 20 seconds at intervals of once every 6 hours. Binding of SB2447's modular components is impossible at this time. That's iteration 1. Now we have iteration 2. The collection of entities labeled SB2447 are to be kept within 3 locked containers composed of 3. Okay, let me just see how, like. Okay, it already changed here. A secondary main chamber is to encompass the 3 containers and is to be constructed of cement and platinum tiling. I'm just comparing and contrasting. Metal plating is to be surgically attached to each specimen abdomen in order to prevent them from adjusting their modular configuration. The plating is to feature a small hatch which must be unlocked via key belonging to SB2447's HMCL supervisor. This will allow for testing with SB2447 to continue. SB2447 instances are sentient and hostile towards Foundation staff, and therefore must be sedated with nitrous oxide prior to anyone entering the chamber. Vents are to be installed within each container in order to achieve this. Any change in instance behavior or configuration is to be reported to SB2447's HMCL supervisor and the site director. Available MTF units are to be dispatched to SB2447's location, and personnel are to be put on standby for a site-wide evacuation. A 120 V current is to be run through the copper alloy for a period of 15 seconds at intervals of once every 8 hours. Show iteration 3 current. The shortest. The collection of entities labeled SB2447 are to be kept in the Euclid wing of Site 162. They are to be held within a standard animal containment cell filled with 4 outlets, see addendum B. Duct tape is to be placed on a modifiable component of SB2447. Duct tape? In the event that SB2447's settings are altered, personnel are to alert SB2447's HMCL supervisor and the site director. Available MTF units are to be dispatched to SB2447's location, and personnel are to be put on standby for a site-wide evacuation if deemed necessary. Footnote: such drastic measures are due to SB2447's wildly unpredictable nature when the settings are altered. SB2447's 5th configuration may to be restored by following the instructions listed in the patch sheet labeled document 5C. However, this may be inadvisable if containment remains stable. SB2447's testing has been discontinued. Oh, okay. Addendum A, SB2447's research team has fine-tuned the entity settings. The specimen in the 5th distinct configuration now poses no direct threat of immediate bodily harm. Duct tape has been applied to the modules to ensure the entity's configuration are not mistakenly altered by themselves or staff. SB2447's classification has been changed to Euclid. I'm getting 914 vibes. Description: SCP-2447 designates a collection of 3 animals which superficially resemble 9 banded armadillos. The Cepus novemticus in the current configuration. Each SCP-2447 instance, labeled A through C, consists of 27 modules identical to those used in analog sound synthesis and approximately 6 kg of biomass, currently arranged to resemble an armadillo. The device interfaces with the tissues of SCP-2447 via muscle fibers which function as single via electrical connectors, footnote, commonly referred to as banana connectors. These fibers possess an elasticity level similar to that of rubber and often connect directly to input ports located on the modules. The 27 modules are each composed of a stainless steel case and various dials and sliders. Adjusting the configuration or settings of these components have proven capable of affecting the organism's appearance, traits, and behaviors. Additionally, examination has shown that SCP-2447's DNA changes to cooperate with its physical state at any given time. Regardless of its configuration, however, SCP-2447 instance requires no traditional nutrients to function and instead absorbs and metabolizes electrical currents from outlets and chargers. The outlets in the chamber have an output of 1500 watts, which has been deemed more than sufficient. The modules themselves have widely different functions than the musical counterpart. SCP-2447 instances have 3 voltage-controlled oscillators believed to function as a base for the specimen, as well as 4 low-frequency oscillators which toggle between secondary traits such as means of motion, neural configuration, and 2 other traits which have yet to be identified. Other modules such as the envelope generator, ring modulator, 8 voltage controlled filters, 9 voltage controlled amplifiers, and one 16-step sequencer deal with either large behavioral patterns, visual, aesthetic, or smaller nuances in the specimen's composition. At present, the entities exhibit mild personalities conducive to containment. In this state, the actions have been noted to be similar to that of a common house cat with slow locomotion and good-natured disposition. At no point with this configuration has an SCP-2447 specimen attempted to dismember or accentuate Foundation personnel. The complete drop in aggression, compounded by a form which is both non-toxic and land-based, has since made SCP-2447 far easier to contain. Yeah, the armadillo, right? It is believed that SCP-2447 instances were produced by acquiring biomass, roughly 60 kilograms, and sound synthesis modules, allowing them to assemble new instances. At this time, they are unable to enact this procedure due to the current configuration, which leaves them with poor memories and a lack of higher brain function. The full scope of SCP-2447's capabilities as it is related to varying traits and behaviors remain unknown at this time. Okay, then the acquisition log abridged. Full documentation, see acquisition log 1. Throughout the winter of 1998, residents of South Portland, Maine began periodically calling local law enforcement to report sighting of lights and noises emanating from within a forested area. Well, that's already creepy enough, eh? 2 civilian disappearances occurred between December of 1988 and January of 1989. Additionally, the homes of 2... Oh god, I'm slowly getting my limit. Additionally, the homes of 2 local musicians are broken into, and multiple synthesizers and keyboards are stolen. The missing persons are found in the woods, stripped of all flesh. The incidents are brought to Foundation attention. Yeah, that's definitely questionable. Definitely suspicious behavior. Anomalous behavior, some would say. Agent Erickson is sent to investigate the scenario. He interviews several residents under the guise of a journalist. And MTF Episode 6, Village Idiots, is dispatched to the scene. Episode 6 identifies these anomalous entities inside the woods. SCP-2447 instances prove to be both intelligent and violent. The Department of External Security begins negotiations with the entities, which at first appears promising. 1 month after initial attempts at diplomacy, another resident is killed by SCP-2447 who have changed their physical appearance. This is the first time this ability has been observed. A break-in at the local music store in which 27 synthesizer modules were stolen is also attributed to them. Negotiation breakdown and the situation is escalated over the course of the following week. Episode 6 attempts to apprehend the anomalies. One MTF member is fatally wounded and another is injured. Approximately 12 hours later, Episode 6 conducts another raid on the anomalies territory. 2 more MTF members are injured before the anomalies are taken in. The 3 captured entities are transferred to Site 162 for classification and subsequent containment. Addendum B. The following note was sent to SB-2447's research director following breakthroughs regarding SB-2447's breeding practices. Hi Julian. As we've noted, SB-2447 are incapable of breeding in their current state. However, a few things have turned up and we now have a better understanding of how these things operate. The details are outlined in the summary revision I sent you. Do me a favor and go back to SB-2447's recovery log and tell me how many civilians were killed in total before the anomalies were recovered. I'm counting 3. 3 dead civilians stripped of flesh and enough electronics to stick that flesh back together. That number wouldn't be an issue if it weren't for the fact that the first civilian was also killed by an SB-2447 specimen. To use all of that flesh and electronics, there should actually be 4 specimens, not 3. I'm contacting our containment specialist about getting another outlet installed, and I'm trying to get Erickson back on the phone. Please see me. Dr. Loginova. Hey, some critical thinking. Somebody was actually thinking about the fact that, like, hey, maybe all that chaos that we had to endure might be for something. Synthesizers. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Synthesize covering ripped out human flesh or skinned human flesh to form a type of animal. What happened to Plato? Such a simple way to craft your own animal. Now we got flesh bot with different animal profiles stored up. Can it become a dragon? Honestly, like that's I'm curious. Like, can it become any animal that we can think of, or just the animals that exist? At least as the Armadillo, it's being nice. A little bit of mercy on the Foundation.